Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Three Geeks podcast. Max is sitting next to me. Below us, we've got Justin. Two Justins left. We have John. Right above John is Dan. Today's podcast is a special one. We are doing a two-parter. So for audio listeners, you will get this in two different
Isn't
portions.
John to Justin's right?
No. I'm laughing at Dan's picture. Right. He's frozen.
Justin's left.
Dan's getting drunk.
So if you're Justin, you're looking at us.
Okay.
It's Justin's left.
Okay.
Dan is wasted.
But anyway, while Dan is frozen drinking a beer, we are going to explain today's episode. If you're watching this on video on Facebook or YouTube, it's going to be one continuous podcast. But if you're listening on audio, you're going to have the normal Three Geeks, and then they'll both release on the same day. You know, just click on Remake Revolution. You can have that as the second part of this episode. Today's episode of Remake Revolution, we are doing Showgirls. I'm going to do everything in my power to keep it to the low R-rated, high PG-13 level as much as possible and try to stay away from that X rating that this could potentially get us to. I'm going to try.
Okay. I feel like we should just give up on that from the outset.
I'm just going to try, Max.
Oh, okay. I don't see why. It seems like wasted effort. I mean, because it's like when the dude, when you're, never mind. I was going to try to tie it back into getting you off on the phone, but that's not going to happen.
There's no context for that, so it sounds real weird right now.
It sounds super weird.
But I feel like there's such magic lost in the pre-episode that I even still without context, we need to somehow bring it in.
All right, so first off, I want to do a little self-promotion. Coming up tomorrow evening, we will be releasing our interview with Scott Schwartz. Scott Schwartz is the one to the left. He plays Flick from A Christmas Story. He was also in The Toy as the little kid who purchases Richard Pryor. That interview was a lot of fun, so check it out. The following week, we will be airing our interview with Bruce Valanche, who was the writer of the epic Star Wars Holiday Special. And then 2 weeks from tomorrow, and I can't express how awesome this interview was, we will be releasing the Larry Hanken interview. This guy was awesome.
Yeah, the Larry Hanken, that dude is super cool. He's a really, really just fun dude to talk to. Yeah, that interview was a lot of fun. I wasn't there for the
Scott Schwartz.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun too.
I wanted to do that. Like that was he's had an interesting career. So yeah, that would have been fun. But no, it's all good stuff.
Yeah, but the thing that was cool about Larry is we're like, how much time do you got, Larry? He's like, I'm free till next Thursday, so let's just chat. And the interview, we had to cut the interview off. We could have talked to Larry for probably another 2 hours without getting bored. This guy's IMDb list is insane.
He's got almost 200 credits on IMDb. Like,
you name a network show, he's been on it.
Yeah,
almost. That's how good. That's how lengthy and good his career has been.
He's forgotten more stuff that he's been on than people have been on in their entire career. It's ridiculous.
And to find out what show he forgot, listen to the interview.
Quite controversial.
Some epically great stuff. How's everybody doing today?
Very well,
Good.
thank you.
Good.
How are you doing, Dan?
Good.
Dan, we can hear you even if the video messes up.
Yeah, we can
Pretty
see you're good now too.
No. I mean, I tried to reset everything, so hopefully it works now, or not. Whatever.
What's up, Clint? How you doing, buddy? Speaking of Clint, he is one of the hosts here on Redline Radio LLC. He does the Top 10 show with George and Dave.
All right,
check it out tonight.
What's the topic tonight? Top 10 what?
Clint,
drop
that to me so we can discuss it. I think it's top 10 sports plays.
we can discuss you discussing it.
I think they're doing top 10 sports
next
plays.
week, apparently.
That's Inception, man. What are you doing? It's an enigma rolled in a mystery.
We haven't heard the top 10 yet. What the hell?
So anyway, we have let's talk about this piece of news because reading this article kind of enticed me to want to go to the movies this week. AMC Theaters is officially opening their doors.
Let's call it what it is, okay? We're not going to sugarcoat this. We're not going to church it up. This is an attack. This is a straight-up trap set up by the AMC movie theater company to kill me. They are trying to kill me. It is blatantly obvious. Why else would you open up your theaters and make all the tickets 15 cents? They're just trying to get me to get COVID. That is it. That is the only logical explanation.
So what I was thinking was I could go on the first day to the first showing because I know that the seats will be clean. But then I started to think about it further: do I want to go to the movie with a bunch of people who can afford 15 cents a ticket? And the answer to that question is I don't think I do.
No.
You can rent out the whole row for $5.
Those seats are never clean.
Also true.
That's very true.
I didn't think about that. I could
make it
buy all of the available seats in the theater. It only cost me the same price as it costs to get Mulan at home.
You could do the three in front, 3 on the sides, 3 in the back, in your seat. You'd be like, nope. Tickets are sold.
Because they can only sell so many seats anyway. Like they can only sell 1 seat and then they have to leave 2 empty, I believe. So I mean that's even less than probably it would be to buy Milan.
I will straight up buy the whole theater.
Yeah, bring your own saran wrap. Start wrapping your seat.
No, I'm still gonna wear the hazmat suit in there.
Not the body condom from like Naked Gun.
Yes,
that's also a thought. That
there
would
you
be less unwieldy.
Corona side sprayed inside. It'd be great.
I want to see the slide that says rent out this theater for your business meeting for $30.
Can write it off in your taxes. It'd be great.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys down? It'd be 6 or 7 of us in the theater. That's not too bad, and we all know we don't have COVID, so that's let's do it. You guys want to chip in $5?
I mean, I've never rented out a theater in general, so that'd be a pretty cool thing to have on your resume. I'll throw $5 for that.
I don't. Again, thank you, Max, for the compliment. But how do you know I don't have COVID?
He doesn't. He's assuming. You have to assume.
John, if you were feeling the effects of COVID or gotten tested and found that you were positive of COVID, I know as a responsible citizen, you would have told us.
True. Very true. I would have.
Let us know.
And not been on this podcast.
Yeah.
On the internet. Obviously, we can do remote stuff. But, if you, you're not going to come to the theater if you got COVID. That's
no. I'm gonna be a responsible adult.
Yeah,
and not
I don't get to partake in this fun because of.
Look, I'll be honest with you. The lady down the end of the street has a wonderful dog, friendly as all get out, Labrador Retriever. Every time you walk past, he comes over. I'm the only guy not petting him because I'm like, what if I give you the COVID? You go inside, the old lady pets the dog. I've killed you now.
Yeah.
And so I'm on hiatus from petting the dog right now.
The dog goes up to everybody. So like I said, you're spreading COVID throughout you got a little typhoid Mary dog over here.
Yeah. I used to pet him all the time. But
the puppy apocalypse.
I said, no, I'm not. I don't want to be responsible for somebody's death.
And who doesn't love to pet a friendly dog?
Yes.
That and especially now times where you need a little bit of comfort. I understand that's a sacrifice you're giving up. Yeah. I love a friendly dog too.
At the end of the story, you find the dog in the reservoir.
No.
Poor dog.
Poor dog. That dog is a nice dog, Dan. What the hell did that do to you?
Well, you gave it COVID, and then it went all crazy and rabid. And then it turned into Cujo. It's just what happens.
That's the next big movie by Stephen King. Corona Dog.
Corona Cujo.
Is it as stupid as Cujo?
Oh man,
dude! Somebody on one of my social medias put out one of those how there's those Twitter accounts like old time Hollywood, that stuff. I didn't realize because I've honestly never watched the film Cujo that Cujo was actually a person in a suit. Did you guys know that?
No, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's an actual full-grown man.
Huh.
I bet it's a small full-grown man though. Or no, is it a full? Do they have to
Yeah, I'm sure he's not 6'8", 280.
Like a horse jockey. That's what I picture when they
Okay, a smaller.
Yeah.
A smaller individual.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Jim Baylock writes, I'm just waiting to take the temperatures of the room. I work for Regal Cinemas, which is also reopening many of its theaters on August 21st.
Oh, okay.
For 15 cents or 5 cents or whatever?
Yeah, or are they doing a special too? Or even still, I know people. I'm one of them. I really, really, really want to go see a movie in the theater, it's just I have people who are in the bad zone at home, so I'm trying not to get them killed. This is the only reason I'm not going to the theater. So it's but it's you want to go out to the theater, you want to have fun again, like, so it's for people who work, what are you thinking? Like it's got to be a risk. You got to be a little bit scared because, I mean, if you're doing everything right, that doesn't matter. It only takes one person doing the wrong thing to get you infected with COVID.
When I saw this news, and I know it's not AMC related, but I was thinking we should do a 3 Geeks drive-in. I think it'd be fun. We can grill out and do that. It'd be fun, I think.
Well, here's my question: What new movies are going to be released? Because I mean, with all due respect, with all due respect, love Back to the Future, but I don't really feel like, I'm going to go to the theater, possibly catch COVID to see a movie that I've seen 28 times. So
they're going to
play on CNN.
They're gonna, as long as the theaters are open, they're going to start releasing movies.
New Mutants is supposed to come out that week.
Yeah.
I would go see, oh my God, like, you don't even understand. I want to go see New Mutants in the theaters. That's how bad I have it. I'm like scratching myself over here. Like, it's ridiculous.
Are you like Dave Chappelle? Like,
yeah. Like, I'm a crack. You don't know about me, Joe Rogan. I smoke crack rocks.
Is Wayne Brady gonna have to?
Jim Balak also writes, older movies will be $5. New releases seem to be regular price. Not sure about concessions yet. And that he's been going to an Atlas theater for the past couple months.
Okay.
Have you felt pretty safe in the theaters? Like, you're not afraid of catching anything? Like, the seats look actually clean. They don't seem kind of gross.
Well, I mean, like,
those seats haven't been clean since 1955. Let's be honest.
Yeah, really.
Like, the actual of the surfaces doesn't need to be too much, but like, does it feel clean in there? And I mean, also, is that a big theater, or is there a lot of people going to that theater anyway? Like, how many people are there? How many? What do they like? And if you're keeping social distance, yada yada yada, that's, I guess, it's fine. I guess it's doable.
Have we reached a point in 2020 where we go, you know what? An old school pornography theater is probably cleaner than a regular. At least you won't catch the corona there.
There's no point in my life that I think that, John. Not a single.
Not even in 2020. You're like, nope.
There's so much more bodily fluid that are probably in those seats.
As long as you got penicillin.
Times Square in the 70s.
That's what Times Square is like now. It's like ghost town.
Oh, but is it all porno theaters? Like, where dudes go to openly masturbate in public? Like, is that what's going down in Times Square right now? Oh man, they're gonna get Giuliani back over there,
dude. Is that guy the singing cowboy that sings in his underwear? Is he still at Times Square?
He can't be.
Not
He's
right
the
now.
only one there.
On Times
that
Square.
Would be epic if he was singing with a mask on and nothing.
Yeah, cowboy hat, mask, underwear.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I think
he's doing a cover where instead of my Sharona, it's my Corona. Yeah,
I mean.
I don't think people want to hear you singing about it, Like, it's bad enough. Like every day. You know what sucks, though? You know what absolutely sucks about the freaking virus? And we should get off this topic. But, like, freaking, you can't... If the news talks about something that's not coronavirus, you're like, this is stupid. There's a fucking pandemic out here. The coronavirus is everywhere. But when they talk about coronavirus, you're like, I wish they would shut up about the fucking coronavirus.
True.
I don't watch the news.
Yeah. So anyway,
if he's the only one out there singing and there's nobody listening, is he really singing?
Yes.
Man, this is more Inception shit, man.
Well, because I'm in the shower and I'm alone singing, I'm still singing. And if you're not in the shower and can still hear me, then you know that I'm still singing.
I know that one of the movies that's being released, I don't know if it's this week, upcoming weekend or the weekend after, is not Tenet. Inception's 10-year anniversary, which that movie kind of makes me want to go see it. Like the theater thing is going to be really hard for me to resist.
I'm not going to.
I love the theater. That's one of my favorite places to go. I can't risk, especially to John's point. There's nothing new. There's nothing I want to go see. I'm not going to go see it for Joe Schmo, Indiana Jones. It's on TNN every day.
I watch Indiana Jones too. Back to the theater, I go see them all.
I want the good old days, man. My AMC monthly membership. I would just go to the theater and watch movies. It didn't even matter. Like New Mutants is coming out. Awesome. I'm gonna go watch that. I have already paid. Like it's an amazing freedom, and it's like just one of the things that made me happy in life. And I can't wait. I don't know. Again, I'm not going first round. I don't want to be the first person to do anything. But yeah, it's interesting to see what'll happen, and I hope everyone's safe, and I hope everyone stays healthy, and like I hope it goes off without a hitch so that I can go see movies again, because I mean it's cool. I don't know if it's responsible exactly what they're doing, because
of course it's not
to pack the theaters as much as possible, but also if it all works out, then great, let's do it. Like I'm down.
It's all about limiting risk, right? I mean, anytime you go outside your house, there's some type of risk, right? So just make good decisions. Do your best.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I go to the grocery store and stuff. We got some more theater inside knowledge coming. Jim says he was there this past weekend, and there was a birthday party of about 20 people. A group of 9 disabled individuals was also there on a field trip. Business as usual in a lot of these places. It's just a matter of personal preference. And then he saw Return of the King, the extended.
Lord of the Rings extended cut is something I would be very tempted. I love all the extended cuts.
Another good idea for the theater, I think, is do all-day marathons. Because if you go into a theater all day, you know who's in there with you. Like, you're in the same seat.
No, because then you're in there with the guy.
Yeah, because look, that's
you're
why
with the Corona all day.
Yeah,
China was had pissed off Christopher Nolan because they didn't want to show Tenet because it was 2.5 hours or 3 hours, and they're only limiting 2-hour movies because they have some type of equation saying, well, if you're only around somebody for 2 hours, you can't catch the COVID, which probably is not accurate, but
yeah. Well, and I wonder, theaters, you have multiple theaters running. Does that air circulate across different theaters, or are you exposing yourself to if someone's sick in the theater 3 theaters down? Or are you going to get
they upgrade the filter, because if the air is recycled, then it's going through some sort of filter. So
yeah,
if they have better filters, that shouldn't really be a problem. It's the same mentality of being on an airplane.
I was more thinking cruise ship, but yeah, for sure.
And, I mean, cruise ship is, I don't know, it's a little different. You're all eating together and stuff like that. So
listen, a year ago, you couldn't convince me to get on a cruise ship, because how many times do you see in the past 10, 15, 20 years, hey, this Carnival Cruise Line came back, now everybody's got norovirus or some other type of virus or Legionnaire's disease. I'm like, I would never get on a cruise ship.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just a matter of hygiene, John. You got to take care of yourself, and then you got to defend yourself from others. That's all. And it's fine. It's the same thing in the military. If you're in the Navy or in the Marines and you're on a ship, and it's not a cruise, but you are all stuck on a big boat together. It's the same thing. Okay.
Point well taken.
It was just a 3-hour tour, right?
Yeah, totally.
I've seen those Village People videos.
Hey, all I'm saying, Max, is they never covered this in G.I. Joe. We never covered that. What happens on the USS Flag, with viruses and whatnot. That was never brought up. Yeah,
so. But also on the USS Flag, you don't have to worry because everyone has a parachute if they're flying a plane. Everyone's got
right.
cure for whatever disease is starting to rummage about the ship. Get that, they're like, oh, we can't die from this.
Yeah, and even if the virus is released, Snake Eyes will sacrifice himself for everyone.
Yes,
because he's that type of guy.
Yes.
So. Okay.
And then you'll have that scare with Duke, and then you'll get a radio call that he's okay.
Sure.
Perfectly fine.
And the PSE will be, kids, wash your hands.
And saying happy birthday.
Escape from New York.
That's the cruise ship that John finally decides to go on.
Yeah.
Just John, tips over.
John is perpetually stuck on a more set.
Just find a nice door.
Yep. Won't get me on a cruise ship, man. Not going.
I would like to go on a cruise ship. I've heard.
I went on one and I gained 20 pounds. I ate so much food. Oh my god.
Yeah, I want to gain 20 pounds.
I just sit in the all-you-can-eat spot most of the day and just enjoy.
Dude, they've got a 24-hour pizza place there.
Yeah. Or all you can eat ice cream if like they had the one on my boat.
I'm not too huge into ice cream, so that's cool. I think I can avoid that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gluttonous like I was during that 5-day thing, oh my god, it was rough. It was rough for my health.
All right, man. That sounds good.
There we go. Let's shift into some more nerdy stuff. So the showrunners and the creators behind the Avatar: Last Airbender animated series was originally going to be involved in this new live action, but apparently things didn't go the way they had hoped behind the scenes, so they have walked away. Dan and Matt.
They walked away.
And they brought in they brought in M. Night Smiley Man to do it now. So yeah,
Wait,
everything is fine.
Oh, shoot me, please.
It's a reverse of Godfather for me. Every time they pull me back in, they kick me back out again.
All I could think of is Jason goes, they walked away, and I could think of the Humongous and Road Warrior. Just walk away.
Just walk away.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Use the gasoline and walk away.
I mean, there's some things that don't need live action. I don't know why they keep pushing this.
No,
Avatar is a wonderful cartoon.
Animated, isn't it?
Leave it to be a wonderful cartoon.
If done well, this could be awesome. It could,
but they tried it and it failed, and I hope they do
it.
Well.
They had the wrong guy in it, and the technology wasn't there. So, now to try again, I'm not against a live action.
Yeah.
No, I'm not against a live action Avatar. You have to have the right people in charge of it, because you've seen what happens when people who don't care about Avatar are in charge of things. You saw what happened with that movie. So when they had the original, writers and stuff in the works, I'm down. When you get rid of those guys, I'm very skeptical that you can do it justice. I mean, we'll see how it goes. But no, they lost me. I've lost all faith in it. I don't think it's going to be good. And I'm not excited to see it anymore. But I mean, am I going to watch it? Obviously. But so
I'll be back here on Sunday yelling about it.
Yeah, but I'm not excited for it if they're not in it. That's not. I mean, like, why would you cut the heart and soul out of something?
I agree. I just don't. There's a whole lot of benefit, right? I mean, you have a wonderful cartoon. Give it live action, I guess. But I just don't see the net gain outside of now we're just appeasing a different section of the fan base, that already loves the cartoon that you produced.
Well, that's fair. I wish it was a different story they were telling versus
have it the next Avatar, whatever after Korra. Make that the live action. Do something. Give me a new story that I don't already know, that I can't already critique and say, hey, the cartoon did it better for this and this reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. But sorry.
I also just want to recognize, thank you, Jim, for saying that Snake Eyes wears his own mask. So just want to throw that out there. Go ahead. Sorry, Max. I didn't mean to interject.
No, that's the truth. That's the truth. Your heroes are wearing masks too, so don't hate on it.
That's right.
It's
I was not aware that this was a live action one.
Yeah.
So now I really don't want it. So I'm glad that they walked away.
As bad as I thought it was going to be before. Now
I just get flashbacks of like 5 dudes moving like a
that was so bad.
Football-sized rock.
Because
that's how that works. You don't need wheels.
Seems better. I think it's possible. I agree, Justin. I would like a different story than telling, or I mean, like, even if they were telling the story of like the Avatar city, like between
whatever.
Like, he was an adult and when he dies and Korra becomes the Avatar, I would be down for that.
I just think it changes the rubric. You know what I mean? Like, don't grade against what's already a wonderful piece of art. Let's do something different and then have it graded on its own.
Like, remember when The Matrix was good, and then we got the Animatrix. We didn't get The Matrix redrawn.
Yeah. Oh man, I agree. I'm less like Star Wars has kind of killed my like if you've already told the story, like I don't need to go over it again or even be anywhere involved. That's why I liked Avatar and Legend of Korra. Like they're totally different like times. Even it feels like because Avatar is like so primitive compared to what's going on in Korra as far as like civilization. So Yeah, I'm definitely down. You know, I prefer more, but breaking of things and change the story. Because you don't need to hang around in the same sandbox the whole time. Like, just like dig up every little possible thing you can find in there. Like that's.
You know what I want to see? How the Fire Nation took over. Like Aang is frozen underwater, and how the Fire Nation took over, and how the Resistance started, and like that underground network that was in the Avatar.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Any of that stuff is all right. I agree. I would definitely like a different story. But again, if the head guys are in charge and they're doing something they agree with, I'm more inclined to watch that than I am whatever you got going on now. So, take that for what it is. Like, being honest, it's still going to get watched. So there's also, like, I guess, fuck me.
You don't want to watch the Star Wars, the next movie where we're going to destroy another Death Star? You don't want the fourth Death Star?
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. Sure. I'm not happy about it, but I'm going to watch it. God fucking damn it.
Okay. Technically, there's 2 Death Stars, 1 Star base.
3 Death Stars.
Oh, we have to take down the generator? Oh, I haven't seen that before.
We'll just fly the Millennium Falcon through it. I mean, we've done it 500 times.
Oh, geez.
I mean,
what if, Justin, the only way to destroy the Death Star is to create one savage TikTok dance?
Do
we want China to control that dance?
The best,
an interesting power move
dance to Rick and Morty's "Get Swifty."
Yeah.
Show me what you got.
But seriously, I want an Avatar holiday special that's just full of the flying bison.
That'd be sweet. I would love that.
The family.
I love all that.
And it's here's Grandpa Itchy in his masturbation chair flying bison.
You should ask Bruce Valanche to write it. You're about to interview him and be like, I'm doing an Avatar Christmas story.
I will.
Should we ask about that? Like, why? What was the thought behind putting the masturbation sequence with Grandpa?
Oh no!
I mean, they were all high. They were all on cocaine.
Yeah, but usually, okay, when you're high on cocaine, you get heavy metal. You don't get,
No.
Yeah.
When you're high on cocaine, you don't know what you get. Sometimes it's heavy metal. Sometimes it's a Star Wars Christmas special. Okay, that's how it works.
Sometimes it's cool with the man in a dog suit.
Justin, all I could see right now is that actually, unbeknownst to everyone, Bruce Valanche is watching this right now, and he's coming loaded for bear. Like, first words out of his mouth Tuesday. Awesome, motherfuckers think everybody was on coke, huh?
Where's that
YouTube podcast?
I'll have you know it was acid.
That makes a lot more sense. That's why Jefferson Starship was there anyway. So.
Yeah, totally. They were all high on acid. That's all that was.
That's all that was. They just did drugs. It's fine.
Whatever.
Next up in the newsreel here is we just did our interview with Tom, and I think Tom mentioned this in his interview that they were staying away from the original cast and doing this. So I watched the trailer for this movie, and a few years ago,
you gotta say for the audio listeners. You didn't say the name of the.
Oh, I'm sorry, American Pie Girls Rule
on Netflix.
On Netflix, yes.
Cool.
So, I watched the trailer to this, and a few years ago, Cockblockers came out. I thought that was really funny. John Cena played the overprotective dad very, very well.
Yeah, John Cena's a little better than I thought he was going to be. Like,
have you seen Cockblockers?
No, but okay. I've seen him in other things, and I see
the Amy Schumer movie, right? He was good.
Yeah, Trainwreck. He was really good in Trainwreck.
So what that essentially was a female remake of American Pie with a little twist. And this movie looks exactly like Cockblockers. So now it's American Pie remaking an American Pie what was essentially an American Pie remake.
Right. Well, why wouldn't they do that? It's the beauty of American Pie is now they get to do like all of the things, like, they're like a college movie, they're like the teenage, like a growing up movie, yada yada, like they're all this weird sexual thing movie. So anytime something has success in that, they get to make the American Pie knockoff of that.
Wait a minute. Are we going to get the
Mad Magazine of movies?
Maybe.
So 40 years from now, are they going to do like the American Pie version of the The Irishman and just de-age everybody?
I hope so.
They can. They have the technology.
See, I watched.
We can make it better, stronger.
These straight to DVD American Pie movies, and one they shoehorn Gene Levy in there. Like,
God love him. God love that man.
But the American Pie 1, 2, Wedding, and Reunion, they were all extremely raunchy, but all 4 of those movies had some form of art where you actually cared about the characters. It wasn't just the shock humor. Every one of the remakes, all it has is shock humor. You hate the characters, and I'm using the word humor very loosely in the American Pie straight to DVD
Somebody
movies.
finds it funny.
I've not been a fan of any of the straight to. All the ones I've seen have been okay. I mean, they can be on in the background, but I'm not invested in any of the stories.
Why would that even happen? You could have something better.
I agree, Max. I'm just saying I've not liked any of the ones I've seen. I like the original cast ones.
I don't even see it. I don't even like. Maybe it was on accident, and then the remote dropped out of my hand right after I accidentally selected it, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I can't even be bothered to bend over right now and pick up the remote. So I'm going to watch American Pie.
Has that ever happened in your life, Max? Have you ever been like, that 5 inches to the ground? Not worth it.
I'm not that fat yet. I'm working on it. Maybe I'm going to improve.
4 or 5 of them, you'll get there. Probably.
I'm still able to get to the ground pretty well from here. So it's not that it's never been that bad yet.
However, if you have to walk to the TV.
If I had to walk to the TV,
turn dials and stuff, yeah.
yeah.
If I had to TV, it's time to get a new TV. I'm not I grew up in the times where you had to walk to the TV, and I'm so happy that they're gone.
The dark ages.
Did you also have the where you had to find like a matchbook or something to stick behind the dial because it wouldn't stay clicked?
No.
Okay, that happened to me a few times.
Like we weren't super rich, but like we were like well off enough to like if the TV broke, we'd get a new TV.
I had a TV in my room. TV in my room that you had to tune like a radio.
Yeah.
Channel. That sucked.
Yeah. We had my grandfather's TV we played video games on was black and white.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that there were color. Like I was playing Super Nintendo and Super Nintendo thinking that they weren't in color.
Oh man,
that's just sad, man.
Went to his friend's house and was like, "What is this?
What the
fuck? Why is Mario red? I'm so confused."
It's a whole new dimension.
I didn't understand if you hooked it up to the other TV, that shit would be A-okay. But no, my parents were not about us kids bothering them when they were watching TV, or us kids banging around on the good TV. And obviously going to break it in some way. Oh, we lost Dan.
Dan was just
about he has the best Frozen picture.
And then he decided
to
Steve.
There you go. Dan's unfrozen.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Jim, I agree with you. I do like the American Pie sequels with the original cast. I like that for. Reunion's actually one of my favorites of that series. Porky's, I've only seen the first Porky's. And Revenge of the Nerds, I have this thing where once a year I will watch all 4 Revenge of the Nerds movies. I started off super positive with 1 because I like 1.
Go backwards.
I get that the end now is essentially a rape, but I try to look past that because
so does everyone. That's the problem.
And Revenge of the Nerds 2, I also like, but it does definitely dip in quality. And then 3, and then 4, and then I don't even think about those movies for another year because 4 is so bad. Like 3 is not good.
Try watching them backwards.
Bad.
See if you can.
So you might enjoy them better another way
after you watch the worst one first.
Because it was that franchise that made me want to be a nerd.
Squad goals.
Probably problematic, but okay.
I mean, as long as you didn't learn any other lessons from that movie.
Oh no.
That was our sleepover movie. Whenever I'd stay at a friend's house, we'd watch Revenge of the Nerds. We would just watch the panty raid scene, and there's a couple other scenes that we would just watch.
Huh.
All right. Well then.
Well, good to know.
John's turning red.
Oh shoot.
What was the? Do we have another topic?
I think John has topics. John always has topics.
Max, I hear you watch the new Transformers on Netflix.
Yeah, the new cartoon.
The War for Cybertron?
Yes.
Did you like it?
I don't really want to say, John, because we have a cartoon podcast that we do.
Okay, then I'll give my.
We're going to talk about that next week.
Self-promotion.
Got it. I thought it was okay.
I dug it. I will say, like, without getting too hardcore into it, I did dig it. It's worth the time.
I thought it was okay. I got to be honest. I thought the first 2 episodes, I'm like, oh God, this is terrible. But it kind of clicked a little bit that third. I thought it was okay. You know, I had lots of friends that were bragging about it, so I'm like, I got to check this out.
Yeah, for sure. I liked it. I got to watch a couple episodes, and then I got to finish out the rest. But I was hooked pretty much from the beginning. I like that, you know, they were actually. I'm not gonna go to it. We're gonna talk about it with the anime.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. But it's well done.
Yes,
well done.
I agree.
So, Mr. Hot Take Orlando, is there a movie that you watched this week that everybody loves that you absolutely hated? I haven't checked in with you about that in a while.
Let's see. I haven't watched anything. I mean, the last thing I watched was It Follows, but I really liked It Follows.
I like that.
Dan, you don't like
Dan
it?
hated it.
No, it's dumb. I'm sorry. The whole bad thing just has, you know, the properties that it needs for this current 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, Dan really didn't like it. I absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorites.
I liked it. I thought it was very well done.
Why?
Because it's something different, and because I'm not one that needs like the blood, guts, and gore.
No, I mean that's fine, but I need a consistent reason for this thing to be.
I like
it shows up, and I get, it's like an STD. It's the real world horrible thing now. Except it ends up in a pool at the end, and suddenly it bleeds, and I don't know.
It's a aborted fetus.
Yeah. You know, who knows? Although, Max.
Yeah.
I watched Jojo Rabbit the other night.
Nice.
Yes.
I love Jojo Rabbit.
It's a great movie.
And I really liked it, but I wish you hadn't had gushed about it so much, because I think I would have liked it. I would have liked it more had my, you know, expectations been a little lower.
Dan, I'm sorry, but I did not watch that movie when it first came out. You had ample time to go see the movie and be blown away just like I was, but you didn't do that. And you took too much time, so you had to listen to my glowing and loving praise of that awesome movie.
Me too.
And have your expectations have your expectations be adjusted. I'm sorry about that, but I agree. If you could have had my experience, you would have been much better off. I agree.
I mean, I see like 3 movies a year in the actual theater.
Oh man, yeah, no, so, that's been one of them. It's so I love that movie. I'm so glad I got to see it.
It was very good. I was just waiting for more people to die. That's all.
It came though. It came.
Dan is in the Japanese kung fu film right now. His voice and mouth are not in sync with one another. It's fantastic.
Dan,
tell me if Godzilla's coming, please.
Oh, look, it's Godzilla. He's coming.
Did we talk about
No, I don't think so.
DC layoffs? Did we talk about that?
No.
The DC layoffs?
No,
we haven't.
Oh yeah, so like DC is laying off like 600 people, including like
the
entirety of DC Universe, and they're all getting the boot. Warner Brothers is like restructuring a bunch of stuff, and DC is feeling the knife chop on that.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, John. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, is it because of the fact that DC Universe didn't go well? Or
yes.
Well, yeah, because like Warner Brothers like DC Universe did not launch well, even though they had a lot of good stuff on there. I mean, because like I just got done watching season 2 of Doom Patrol, and it's good. It's solid. It's definitely better than the CW stuff, you know. But it's like it's Yeah, it's high quality CW stuff, but it's good. Like I really dig it. And they had Swamp Thing. Dan loves Swamp Thing. They canceled that like before they even
almost immediately. Yeah.
Yeah,
I do love Swamp Thing.
Show Harley Quinn is a great cartoon. They have a lot of like IPs that they like could run with, and I don't understand what the dysfunction was in their release, but like also like they said they're going to release like they're going to have all the comic books, all the DC comic books, and they never got there.
They never did it. Yeah,
they never came close to that.
Yeah.
So know, like, there's a lot of stuff where it's just like so a lot of the people got laid off there. I think the people left are just the transition people who are getting all the stuff from DC Universe onto HBO Max, and then like I think some of the head guys got fired or got canned, and they're gutting it. It's a skeleton crew over there.
But they're not also gutting that because they're sweeping changes across all of Time Warner Media. Because I know one of the big controversies in pro wrestling is the guy, the guy in TNT who got AEW wrestling on that network got canned. He's gone. And so over the last week, that's been the big thing is, oh my God, does that mean AEW's done, even though they're signed for another year or so? But I think it's been across the entire corporation, the whole Time Warner, they're cutting, so it's not just DC, but it's also the Turner Broadcasting and other things as well. How they got in that situation, I don't know, because for me with DC, the only two things I could think of was one, DC Universe, and two, DC Comics was one of the first to go, we're doing our own distribution during the pandemic rather than going through Diamond. And I think there's been some issues with that.
Yeah. A lot of comic book stores stopped carrying DC product.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's a bad day. But I mean, hey, maybe Marvel can buy DC.
Competition's important.
Part of it is also the merger with HBO Max, and I've made a post about this on Facebook. But if you're a fan of old movies and you don't want to pay the $12.99 for Criterion, but you already have HBO, it is the second best, hands down, curated selection of old movies.
Yeah, there's some really good shit on there.
The Turner Classic Movies is part of it, and they have a lot of good stuff on there. Some Criterion titles are on HBO Max as well.
Yeah, I do like, however, how it has like if it's on regular HBO, it'll have the little HBO logo next to it, and it's like, why?
Well, so is HBO Go done?
Yes. Well, they're keeping HBO Go around a little bit longer for Roku and Fire Stick users while they still negotiate to get HBO Max onto those.
Okay.
Because HBO Max isn't on the two biggest providers of streaming content.
And that's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like Peacock's not on Roku.
Nope. Same reason.
Yeah. I was like, that's ridiculously stupid.
They'll get there. It's, I mean, like, what else was not specifically on Roku?
Yeah.
Well,
eventually they got Apple TV, so I mean, they're working on it.
It's got to get there sometime.
Apple TV.
Dude, their shows are so good.
No,
I just want to set it on fire.
How many shows do you like?
Not in a good way, but
the two are so good,
and it was terrible.
What show?
The freaking one where everyone's everyone's blind, and then they're all like they use sound to move around. And it's got freaking Aquaman in it.
Oh, Jason Momoa.
Aquaman's blind?
Hey, Jim has a great question, Jason.
What's Peacock? Peacock is the NBC streaming service. It's NBC, USA. I can't remember, but there's multiple channels that are a part of the NBC brand. So far, they haven't launched with anything like super special. I know Saved by the Bell and
special.
What's that? It was a show in the 80s, female.
Girls.
Blossom.
Cagney and Lacey?
I'm checking.
Blossom was 90s.
Wait, what happened on that show in the 80s?
Give me a break. 227.
I'm getting there, John. Hopefully I figure this out soon because this is great radio.
Three's Company.
Jason, you're holding up the whole podcast.
I know. Punky
So-
Brewster.
Punky Brewster. Yes, so Moon Fry.
Oh.
With Mr. Freddie Prinze Jr., who I have become a fan of as of late.
I like his podcast.
So he plays her husband. So I'm curious to watch the show.
So it's like Punky Brewster grew up and married Freddie Prinze Jr.
And I'm also curious about
Are they
Saved by the Bell.
getting Jordana? What's her name?
Jordana Brewster?
Did she play Punky Brewster?
No, it's Soul Moon Fry or Soleil Moon Fry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was kinda
Jim,
hoping-
to tell you, there are supposed to be 2 levels of Peacock, by the way. I don't think Jason got to that yet, but there's a free version and then there's a pay version.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You want the pay version of the cock for sure.
The free version doesn't come with the exclusives.
Oh yeah, all up in the DMs.
The problem with this is there's not enough. Like they released Psych 2, the movie, and that's all. And as a fan of Psych, as a fan of Saved by the Bell, as a fan, not a fan of Punky Brewster, but curious about Punky Brewster, that is not enough to get me to sign up for the streaming service. The only reason I signed up for it is because I was promised every episode of the original Law and Order because I've never seen it. And they only have 8 seasons, the last 8 seasons. That's
Is it the SVU stuff or is it actual Law and Order?
actual Law and Order. But the
Okay.
SVU2 is on there as well, and so is Criminal Intent.
Here's what I want to know if it's on there. Speaking of great shows, Homicide, Life on the Street.
Oh,
It's on
There you go.
everything.
Is it?
SVU was a spinoff of Homicide Life on the Streets because Detective Munch is on.
Yes. It wasn't
Detective Munch is on the top.
Yeah, Munch. Munch has been on I think 9 different shows.
Yeah.
The character of John Munch, because he's been on X-Files, The Lone Gunman, SVU, Homicide. He's been on a ton of them. I like Homicide. I love it. That was a great show.
Never
I
seen
really
it.
wish the Lone Gunman would have gone on better than it did.
Of course, if you liked it, it got canceled.
Yeah,
I just finished Boston Legal the other day, and I have to make an amendment to my favorite television couple. Max can attest that Boston Legal is a pretty fun show.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
It is. I went into that show expecting a serious drama about lawyers. That's what I thought I was watching because you read it on face value. That's what you expect. I didn't know anything about the show, but the show is funny. It's quirky. It breaks the fourth wall. And I said before that my favorite television couple was Jim and Pam. Not anymore. My favorite television couple is Alan Shore, played by James Spader, and Denny Crane, played by William Shatner. They are the best on-screen couple in television ever.
They're good. They're real good.
They are great. They're not even technically a couple. They're just 2 really good friends.
No, they get married.
They
They're
do
a couple.
get married. They
are
married.
a couple. It is official.
It was great. That show couldn't have ended any other way.
Spoilers. Sorry.
this is like the beginning of a Pod People movie where Jason's like, Boston Legal is good, isn't it, Max? And Max is like, yes, it's very good.
No, it's not a show I would put on.
Come to the back room and lay in the weird
In the
cocoon.
scenario where the controller drops on the ground and I'm not going to pick it up, I would not have to go pick it up if Boston Legal was on. It's all right. It's good enough. You get to watch James Spader rant, and you get to watch William Shatner act like a weird old misogynistic asshole.
Dude,
William
watching
Shatner.
the show, every episode, it seems like they were purposely giving Spader more and more to say to see if he would mess it up. Because every episode, it seems like
a monologue.
His script is 150 pages, and everybody else's script is 3 pages. Because they make this guy talk a lot.
Yeah.
But Boston Legal, I highly recommend it if you like quirky cop shows.
But are they as good as lawyers as the Fonz?
What's that?
Are they as good as lawyers as the Fonz in
Barry?
Happy Days. Oh.
What's that? He wasn't a lawyer, Barry.
I've never seen Barry.
No. In the one comedy on Netflix, Arrested Development. Yeah.
He would fit into their law office very well.
No.
No, yeah, that's not.
It's just a terrible lawyer.
Yeah, no, because they're good lawyers. They're quirky, but they're actually really good at their job.
Right.
Like they have an episode where they sue the church. They have one where they try to sue God. They have one. They sue the government in like every episode because her husband got like struck by lightning or something. So the lady comes in and goes, "I want to sue God."
Right. Right.
Jim, you and I have similar taste in television, sir, and I would love a Shirley Schmidt doll.
Oh, jeez.
And the Fonz was a juror on Happy Days, not an attorney, but a juror.
He was, and library cards went up 100% when Fonz got his library card. I always reveal something personal about myself in every one of these shows. When me and my friend Selwyn, back in middle school, we had 7 combs that we would carry around in our pockets because of the Fonz.
So you could comb your hair?
Back when I had it.
That's why it all came out.
Even then, you didn't really have it, and
I had hair in middle school.
Yeah.
Hey, you're gonna have hair in about 10 minutes, aren't you?
Maybe.
Hink, hink, wink, wink.
We'll see, John.
John
What
just
are you doing?
spoiled a possible surprise. Now I don't know if I'm going to do it.
Come on.
Oh man, what time is it?
That's for the people that are split, that are listening to this in the audio format. See, there you go. I'm tempting them to tune in to Remake Revolution.
Yeah, Remake Revolution is going to be a lot of fun. Justin's not here to share this and put in that we're doing Remake Revolution, so hopefully one of us can.
Yay! What's Twitter?
What's that?
What's Twitter?
I wear a lot of hats in this podcast. Yeah,
I wear 2.
I hear that it comes out faster when you wear baseball caps, but in high school I also dyed my hair a lot, so that might be
I think it's all heredity, dude.
Yeah.
But,
you can kill your hair for sure. Like there's things you can do to expedite the process.
Well, yeah, sure. But I think the baseline is heredity.
And then there's an evil cult, and your grandma was part of it.
Yep.
And then you end up in the weird little tree house that your dad built. Heredity.
My dad built me a tree house.
Right?
I want a tree house. I never got a tree house. I didn't always go to somebody else's tree house.
Yeah.
We had a fort in the trees, Max and I.
You had what? What did you say?
A fort in the trees. We even dug a hole for a bathroom.
Well, that's kind of a tree house.
Forward thinking. We were responsible treehouse people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Taping pennies to the railroad tracks. Those were the days. Those were the days.
I never did that. That's illegal.
Is it?
How's it illegal?
I'm pretty
You
sure.
got in the artsy bunker.
Yeah. Because you could you're smashing money. Like, isn't it bad to deface money?
Well, one, you're putting shit on the tracks.
Right.
2,
Right.
yeah, you're defacing money, as Jason said. So yeah.
If somehow a child managed to watch this podcast all the way to here, do not put money on the railroad tracks. They
don't know how that
First
works.
of all, why is a child listening to this podcast?
Because they're awesome.
Good parenting.
Yeah.
Because you want to know
Good parenting.
How Showgirls works.
I'd say questionable parenting at best.
So yeah, I don't have a preview or anything to throw up between this podcast and Remake, but coming up at 5:00, we are doing Remake Revolution. It's going to be a lot of fun. John and Dan are going up again.
This is first time teaming up, right?
Yeah, it is.
They're going up against Jack and Steve to remake the cult film Showgirls.
Cult classic. It's not like a film.
I wouldn't go with classic.
I wouldn't say classic.
I
mean, out of all of their open movies, they're gonna pick Showgirls.
But it's one of those movies that you watch because it's terrible.
You know what, Max? Let me just explain. I rewatched it, and I regretted that decision. Because I hadn't seen this in 1998, and you know what? In 1998, I remember saying to myself, "There's a lot of boobs in this movie, but it's still terrible." Yeah.
You know,
like it was a struggle for me to rewatch it because I was like, oh, this is
I was telling John that when Showgirls came out, I was in middle school, and that movie was bootlegged and passed around the middle school so fast because it had Jesse Spano in it, because it was like the year after Saved by the Bell went off the air. So every middle school boy wanted this movie.
Oh man! All right, I'll be right back.
It's got Kyle MacLachlan.
gotta
It
get
is a
something
cult
to
favorite, so much so they made a sequel.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's not, if it's not a cult classic, how does it get a sequel?
That's right, John. How did
a
it
lot
get
of things get sequels that aren't cult classics.
Thank you. Like A Christmas Story 2.
Yeah, both of them.
That's right. We learned that. I learned that. I didn't know there were 2 others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that and didn't even have to go through the interview. See that?
Yeah.
Yay! Yeah, I mean, like, what about Insidious 2? Is Insidious 1 now a classic?
Jim dropped some knowledge on us that it's not illegal to deface money.
Oh.
It's illegal to deface it and put it back into circulation.
Aha.
Example, all those machines that make penny souvenirs. Still, kids, keep your change off of the railroad track.
Okay.
We do not condone any of that nonsense.
Yes. By the way, breaking news, Jason. Breaking news.
Pennies. Then
I just got an alert on my phone. Apparently, someone in one of the many Matlock Facebook groups is creating a petition to get Matlock on the Peacock Network.
Wow.
Or the Peacock app.
On the Peacock Network.
It should be on the app.
Somewhere. How is Married with Children on? They're not Married with Children. Sorry, different show. Murder, She Wrote on like 6 of them, and we can't get Matlock on one. Hey, John, isn't there a Matlock podcast in circulation right now?
There is. There's this Matlock podcast. In fact, I think it's the only one on the planet that is hosted by yours truly and you, and we call it Matt Talk. And what we do is we are working our way through the seasons. We're currently still in season 1, where we watch an episode, we review it, we discuss it on Matt Talk. It's a lot of fun. It's a great listen. If you're a fan of Matlock, you should check it out. Just simply go over to the Facebook page, which is Matt Talk Podcast, or you can find it on Anchor FM. Just go to Anchor.fm/Matt Talk. And it's also available through all those other streaming services like Apple Podcasts and Stitcher, et cetera, et cetera. Currently, we are talking about The Affair, which is a star-studded episode featuring Jeff Conaway from Taxi, and of course Kevin Conroy, the man who voiced Batman in the animated series. They guest star on a really interesting episode, and boy, do we got a great one coming up next Monday too. One that, to be honest with you, it's a favorite of mine, and you'll just have to listen to find out why.
Yeah, John and I are not in sync about Matlock at all. Like the episodes he likes, I hate. The ones that I like, he hates. It's a give and take relationship between the two of us.
That brings it
Yeah. It brings a realness, you know?
And it also, it shows that you don't have to, there's many different things to love and appreciate about Matlock.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it makes a decent podcast because you can't have one without some kind of conflict.
Very true.
Like Animaniacs and how both of you hate everything that I like.
Or I was going to say, as Jack Wallace and Steve Steiner will find out when we compete against them in Remake Revolution, Dan.
Yes. I don't know if I want to compete with Scott Steiner.
Steve Steiner, not Scott Steiner.
Oh,
Dude, if we could get Scott Steiner on this podcast, that would be awesome. Yeah, Big Papa Pump, holla if you hear me. Oh, yes. That would be amazing. What is this?
Guys, we are going to take a 2-minute break. Enjoy this, and we'll be right back.
Remember how much fun high school used to be?
You believe that was like 30 years ago?
These kids.
You killed it.
So hot and popular. You're like Justin Bieber if he wasn't like 100 years old.
And clueless. Bayside is 99% paperless, so getting your books is kind of a pain in the ass. Oh, it took forever.
What did that blonde fool just say to me?
It may look like I'm a hot, happy guy. You're a gym teacher, and I saw you eating soup in your car. When I was in high school, I constantly used to fight with my best friend over a hot girl. Oh, it was actually your dad. Over your mom. Then I just found another girl that I really liked, and I started hooking up with her instead. Oh wait, that was your mom.
That wasn't the trailer I thought it was going to be. The one I was trying to show was the one that had Elizabeth Berkley in it, because it kind of went into this a lot better than that did.
Oh my
But
goodness, that was ridiculous.
whatever, it's time to remake. Welcome to the show, Jack. How you doing?
Good. How's it going?
It's going great, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Jack Wallace. I'm a comic writer here in Columbus, Ohio. I also am part of the Columbus Scribbler, which is a free comic book newspaper in the city. We distribute to probably about 16 locations. We do about 1,000 issues every issue. We're now coming up on issue 5, coming out in September, which has an interview with Jeff Smith, local cartoonist legend. So yeah, I also write for a couple animation studios, Essence Cartoon and Ownage Pranks. So yeah, that's in brief. That's about it.
In brief. That's
in brief. Yeah, that's
awesome, dude. You're out there. You're working. That's pretty.
Yep.
Great.
I'm trying to at least.
So the way Remake Revolution works, while we wait on Steve to join us, is 2 teams will compete against each other in a epic collision of who can pitch the better movie. The topics that we will be rating are the pitch, what the movie's about, what the plan is, how the story will progress, director, writer, actor, marketing, and soundtrack. Soundtrack is
Whoa.
soundtrack's more so if there's a tie.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay. I think we have a couple of those. Hey, there he is.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, sorry. Took me a minute.
All right.
Hey, Steve, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Steve Steiner. I'm just a guy who lives the dream every day. I write and draw my own little comics and zines on the side, and I'm ready for a good time. Let's see if I can get my leg. That's a little better.
All right, guys.
Steve, real quickly. Unfortunately, Dan was disappointed and he misheard. Thought Scott Steiner was joining us, and I was like, that would be epic. I mean,
no.
So,
sorry to disappoint.
All right.
What do you think weighs more, Steve or one of Scott Steiner's arms?
Unfortunately, probably me. Probably me. Been trying to lose this quarantine weight, but it's slow going.
Hey, you're working harder than me. I'm not even trying.
I tried at first. I'm like, and then I was like, who am I doing this for? Like, really? It's me.
And I'm okay with that.
I like food and I want to eat it. I don't think I'm going to balloon up in a few weeks. Like, I can keep myself under 300 pounds, and I think that's a good goal.
how many people here have worn like the same clothes multiple days in a row during the pandemic? Because I've done that.
Definitely me.
Yeah.
You mean during the pandemic or just in general? Because I go both ways. It's...
I was speaking of the pandemic, Jack.
Well,
but, you know, I mean,
I wasn't gonna say nothing. I'm in that same boat, but I was like, hey, it counts, right?
Right. I mean, not day after day, but like, you know, you give that shirt a couple days so people don't notice right off the bat. But yeah,
right. You sniff and you go, I'm just laying on the couch watching,
Right.
movies. I'll just
You
throw this on.
Shirt, it goes into the almost dirty pile. Then when you're out of really clean shirts, you wear all the almost dirty shirts, put them and then into the dirty pile.
Yep.
That's how it works.
As Bill Murray says in Ghostbusters, there are many layers to it.
Yes, absolutely.
You're enjoying that I wear clothes when I'm not here. Like,
We're gonna have to go on YouTube here pretty soon.
Dan is just walking around naked in the house when he's.
I mean, hey, if it's your house,
hey,
exactly.
hey, okay. I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna cast aspersions.
and plus, considering today's topic, like, we should not be too squeamish about getting naked.
Right.
Well, it's true.
That is a fantastic lead-in right there.
Fair enough.
All right, everybody. Today we're doing Remake Revolution. It is a joint production. It's McGTV with the PVDcast, with 3 Geeks Podcast, presenting to you Remake Revolution. The subject matter in Showgirls will be a little provocative. We're going to try our best to keep it on the lower R-rated side as we stream live on these airwaves. But
Showgirls is NC-17. I feel like we should at least go that hard.
we're going to go R. That's going to be.
We have a hard R plan. So
we have subject matter that I will be showing to the people, and it already plays with that line just a little bit. We've only been on radio for 3 weeks. I don't want to be kicked off in the fourth.
They said there was only one rule, which we have not come close to even breaking.
We did dance around the rule.
I mean, that would be a great story, though. Come on.
This is my first time hosting this, so let's get ready to remake.
Can't say that.
What do you think I was going to say?
No, I'm not going to say it. That's copyright. I don't want to say that.
All right, so the first we got Dan and John. What are your team names?
Oh, what's our team name?
Oh, crap.
Come
I
on,
don't know.
John.
God.
Really, you're the one who told us to make sure we told people we needed a team name.
Sorry. How about the Heavy Metal Masters?
Okay.
Heavy Metal Masters. There you
Sounds
go.
great.
Steve, Jack, you guys got a team name?
what do you think, Jack? We didn't talk about that.
We didn't talk. My first thought is Slut Lizard, but I don't know if that's a.
No, for this one, that's okay.
Okay.
Perfectly fine.
All right, cool.
Subject matter, I'm going to allow it.
Nice. That's funny. All right. So, Jesus. Let's get into this. Let's find out who's going first. John, pick a number between 1 and 5.
3.
2. So, if Price is right, you got 3 and up. So, it is Steve and Jack's get to go first. So, Steve, Jack, what's your pitch for a Showgirls remake?
Okay, so I don't know if this is going to be considered a parody, but me and Steve did do kind of a mock-up of what our ideas was. So Nomi Malone is a young dancer whose dancing is so bad that many people have been hospitalized after an encounter with her. Some have even committed suicide after just brief glimpses. Despite repeated attempts by the governor to try and block her from the state after declaring her dancing a national emergency, she moves to Las Vegas to follow her dreams of becoming a showgirl.
Hold on, Jack. Have you ever heard this show before? Because this is way too good for anything that's ever.
We put a lot of planning into this.
Actually, me and Steve did say we think we may have put too much work into this. So,
bravo, Jack. Keep rolling. I love it.
She gets into an Uber and is chatting with the Uber driver. When he reaches for the glove compartment, Nomi thinks that she's about to be accosted and then violently stabs him with a switchblade. And after he threatens to call the police, she agrees to give him all the money she has left to avoid authorities. He drops her off in the middle of the bright lights of Las Vegas and goes to seek medical assistance. Penniless and overcome by shame and hunger, Nomi wanders into traffic, and this is where she's nearly run over by Molly Abrams. After briefly fighting and then puking on her, Molly agrees to become roommates with this brute of a stranger. 3 months later, the two are living in a derelict trailer park and seem to be taking turns sharing a single bed for some reason. Nomi finds work at the Walrus, which is a low-class strip joint. Her manager, Al, claims that she is the worst act they've ever seen since Shelley gave live birth on stage. Nomi has an appetite for better things, namely joining the cast of the hit Las Vegas show Godless. Fortunately, Molly is a costume designer on the show and introduces the star of the show, Crystal Connors. Connors eventually finds Nomi at the Walrus, requests a private dance for her and her boyfriend, Zach, who happens to be the entertainment director of the prestigious Angel Dust Casino. This is where we first see the devastating power and chaotic, violent dance moves of Nomi. Zach is overcome and is nearly put into a coma, and unfortunately, his penis might never be the same. James Smith is an aspiring dance gigolo, seems to also be easily sneak into the private dance room with little objection from the guards, even though they seem to be everywhere. Nomi eventually gets James fired from multiple jobs and thrown in jail, which seems to be a strange aphrodisiac for him. Nomi is offered an audition to become a dancer in Godless, thanks in part to some freshly iced nipples. Zach says her dancing encompasses the chaotic and hopeless nature of our times. Nomi's life becomes a whirlwind of hot dance theatric and self-absorbed aggressive outbursts. Her past remains a mystery as the lackluster HR department doesn't even check for social security numbers, which really should be something that the IRS should look into. And from there, I will go ahead and pass it off to Steve to finish it out.
I gotta say, I'm not the judge. I'm just the host. But you guys are.
Can
just...
you email this manuscript?
I'm
trying to
actually pitch this.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
Happily.
If Hollywood is watching this right now, just know contact these guys to use this idea.
All right.
Well, this is when things really start heating up because we wanted to pay homage to probably the best scene in the movie. So Crystal and Nomi, they start becoming friends, and they start bonding over their shared love of eating dog food. You know, they had tough childhoods, so they start laughing about eating dog food, and then we want a 5-minute montage. They come out of a PetSmart with a 25-pound bag of dog food, and they chow down to the tuna Hungry Like the Wolf for 5 minutes. And that's going to be...
Soundtrack shout out, by the way. Just for that.
And so, but things take a turn for the worse because Nomi has been seducing Crystal's man the whole time. Zach is starting to fall for Nomi. And so the rivalry starts getting really heated. And it ends up, Crystal sends Nomi off to become a prostitute for some boat enthusiasts. And then Nomi decides she's just going to push Crystal off a cliff. She takes her out to the Nevada desert, and the only thing that saves Crystal's life are her heaving breasts. They prevent the fall. She isn't permanently damaged, but she's laid up for a while, and Nomi takes over the show. And so now Nomi, she's on top of the world. She's got everything she ever wanted. She, her man's got a hot car. She's head of this great show. She's showing off her cool dance moves to everybody. Sorry, lost my place.
Oh, you're not the only one.
Started getting into it. And so then they're having a party at the Angel Dust Casino where this is all going down. And that's when her best friend Molly unfortunately meets with a violent attack from a K-pop pop band. They're at the casino, they're performing, and she just goes down the wrong hallway, and bad shit happens.
Pop bands are mean.
So this is, in the hospital. It gets even worse because her man Zach found all about her secretive past. He had his men work on it. And it turns out that he knows her real name's Pollyann Costello. And she's actually a college dropout from a prestigious liberal arts college. And is part of a really disturbing scandal. It seems like Pollyann, she was on track to graduate with a minor in dance theory. During her final recital, her violent convulsions paralyzed her dance partner, just took her right out, and it made her dance partner a quadriplegic for life. So the college said, hey, we'll forgive everything. You just can never dance again. And she said, no, I'm going to live my dreams. And so she changed her name. She changed her Twitter handle. She headed west to follow her passion for dance. So she refuses to compromise, and she decides she's going to get revenge on these K-pop bastards. And so she goes to their hotel suite, and she unleashes the full force of her violent hoochie moves. She goes after one by one. She gyrates one guy so hard, his head just falls right off. It just snaps the neck, and it just sags over, and then it just snaps. And she just kills one by one, and she crushes her windpipe with her flailing moves, and just crushes them all. And she's now the movie, this is the ending, and she's leaving town. She's had enough of this town. And again, the same Uber driver picks her up, and he starts freaking out. His stab wound's still bandaged up and everything. And she stabs him again, the exact same place to display her erratic social behavior one last time. Proof the city has never changed her. She changed the city. And I imagine the song for the ending credits would be I am the warrior. I am the warrior. Starts screaming, and then everybody in the theater stands up and applauds because we just blew their minds.
Did you guys write a whole script for this?
Yes. Yeah, it's ready for production. We're just waiting for investors, really. At this point.
Just waiting for the funding.
Yep.
Hey, going back to a previous joke to earlier on in the podcast, Bruce Valanche is taking notes. I gotta get these two guys in Ohio. They're good.
Jim Blaylock writes, you're inspiring the watchers to go watch this movie again.
Yes, we should have said that. We are not responsible if you go watch Showgirls again and need to stab your eyeballs out or whatever, because we take no responsibility for your watching Showgirls because we did. Like, please do not do this at home.
We did it so you don't have to.
Watching Showgirls?
No.
See, I vividly remember I watched Showgirls like in 1998, and I remember going, there's a lot of boobs in this movie, but it's still terrible. So when I rewatched it last week, I hated myself a lot.
When I was 13, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world.
Okay. Well, I've got all that I'm going to get with that.
John and Dan, you guys have a tough act to follow. Let's see what you got.
John?
Okay. Here's our pitch. The movie takes place in the next year or two. And unfortunately, much like many, many cities in America, there are some folks dealing with some serious economic issues. There's a casino in Vegas called the Magmasaurus. That's right. It's named after a fictional dinosaur. That's how cool it is. Anyways, it's on the verge of financial collapse. So this casino decides that they need a new show to bring in the people. So the higher-ups at the Magmasaurus want to hire the legendary entertainment director Zach Carey to produce a new show called Volcanoes and Heat. The rumors are abound that Zach died a few years ago in a terrible cement mixer accident. So unfortunately, the owners of this casino go with the next best option, the entertainment director known as Bob Jones. Bob is desperate to have this show a success. No matter what he does, no matter how many people he auditions, he just can't seem to get the right cast. So when word comes that Nomi Malone has returned to Vegas to pay her respects at Crystal Connor's funeral, Bob seeks her out and pleads with her to take over this ragtag group of dancers and to make Volcanoes and Heat the best show on the Strip. After a few moments of considering, Nomi decides to take the position. She's still somewhat upset and somewhat hurt by the gruesome discovery that indeed Crystal and her gay drag queen personal assistant Adrienne Barbeau have been slain in Vegas. As a matter of fact, Adrienne was unfortunately thrown off the top of the apartment building of Crystal in a scene reminiscent of Ricky O, and unfortunately fell to his death, only to have the apartment building collapse on Crystal with a scene of just one leg and one boob hanging out from underneath the rebel. It was very, very, very difficult for Nomi to see that. But nonetheless, she takes the reins and she's going to whip this group into shape. And she's starting to do so when all of a sudden some dancers start ending up dead. So Nomi, Bob Jones, and Sergeant Dick LaForge must determine who is the killer. And eventually, after a lot of different investigative endeavors, it is finally revealed that at the end of the movie, Nomi confronts the masked killer only to rip off the mask and to find out that indeed Zach Carey is not dead, but indeed the killer back for revenge because Nomi Malone ruined his entire life.
Fuck, you just spoiled the movie for me.
So that is the motivation for killing the three dancers, Crystal and Adrienne. And indeed, there's going to be a little kung fu fight, which we'll explain later, until Unfortunately, Dick LaForge has no option but to shoot Zach Carey, ending his reign of terror.
Okay. Normally the pitch is like, yeah, we're doing kind of a murder mystery deal, and yeah, we're gonna have kids in there, and that's my pitch. And wow, both I'm impressed. I'm impressed with both teams. Like that is a lot. I'm excited to let you guys know what I've gleaned from both of your that's going to be a lot of fun. And feel free to correct me later on when we're going back.
Sure.
And you can throw any little thing in there. But no, that's really great. I'm enjoying both of these. We'll see how it goes. You want to go writer directors next?
Writer director is next, but first I'm going to go to the comments each time a team finishes. Jim says, when I watched it, I was disappointed in Alan Ratchins. He went from LA Law to Showgirls.
I don't know. Probably Alan was pretty disappointed too there, Jim. I mean,
yeah, no shit.
That's how I feel about Kyle MacLachlan too. Like he was too good for this as well.
He was Muad'Dib.
All right, so Steve and Jack went first last time.
You got to sleep with what's her face. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'd like a sex scene with Elizabeth Berkley. Come on.
So we're gonna go with John and Dan first. John and Dan, who do you guys have for writer and director?
Okay,
Dan, that's all you.
Our writers, we're bringing back Jerry and David Zucker and Jim Abrahams to write this.
Abrams?
They haven't. Abrams, yes. Oops. Our notes are wrong. My bad.
I'm blaming it on autocorrect.
Fair enough. They haven't done much lately, but they did the old Airplane, and it would be perfect for Showgirls.
Say all of those names again one more time slowly.
Jerry Zucker, David Zucker, Jim Abrams.
Jerry, David Zucker,
Jim Abrams. All right, continue, Dan.
For the director, we're getting John Woo.
Okay.
Because, I mean, nobody can encompass the beauty that will be this Showgirls other than John Woo and doves and all kinds of awesomeness. Now, for the fight, stunt, and dance coordinator, we're getting Yin Wu Ping. Because, I mean, he can do it all, man.
How do you spell that?
Y-U-E-N space W-O-O space Ping.
I love that you had to put the spaces in there.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So you got Jerry and David Zucker and Jim Abrams writing with John Woo directing and Yin Wu Ping as your stunt and dance coordinator?
Yes.
Stunt and dance coordinator.
Who's your guys' grip?
What?
Just kidding.
I mean, key. By
the time this movie makes it to production, I think Dan and I would be doing a lot of best boy, boom mic operator.
That's a union you guys got to get in. That's not just a job you can get.
That's true.
Anyway, all right. So team, that's all your. Do you have 800 other people you'd like to add to this list?
No,
not until we get to cast.
All right, Team Slut Lizard.
I'm the host, Max. Team Slut Lizard. What's your writer and director?
You want me to or you want it?
Go for it, Steve.
Okay. Well, we picked a real hit maker. Let's just be serious. Those guys are losers they named. I never heard of him. We got a guy you actually heard of, and he's a writer and a director, and he's made hit after hit that have dancing. Not so much boobs yet, but we'll educate him. Baz Luhrmann, Romeo and Juliet, Moulin Rouge, Dancy, Colorful, Dreamy. What do you do? The newest Great Gatsby. He knows how to work with stars, and we got lots of stars that he's going to have to, wrangle and get them to get naked. So this is our guy. He's from Australia, so it's all good down there.
Say the name one more time. It broke up a little bit when you were saying.
Oh, Baz Luhrmann. I'm saying that right, Jack. His last.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. I don't think I've ever said it out loud. I've just read it.
You need them to spell it to you.
Yeah, that would be nice because I know I'm not spelling it right.
BAZLUH or LURHMANN.
Oh, I was almost right. I didn't have
All right, so now if you live in Columbus, Ohio, then you saw signs for an audition to go apply to be in Showgirls at John's house. Those were not real. It was just a couch. So, but no, who are your guys' cast? Let's go to Steve and Jack first.
Go for it, Steve.
Okay, well, this was a hard one to cast, and we went back and forth, and there was only one real clear, obvious choice. We needed somebody with star power, somebody that, has the dramatic chops to do what we need to do, and she has to be willing to get naked. And there was only one choice for that, and that is Lena Dunham. And, I mean, she's more
than every woman. I'm sorry, go ahead, Steve.
Sorry. She's like a modern day auteur, man. She's got the chops, and this is for a new generation, and she's the voice of a new generation.
Much more relatable
Can I interject for a minute?
Sure.
The funniest part was, and Dan doesn't even know this because I cut it. When I was naming dancers, I wanted to have really properly trained dancers, slutty strippers, and then just two regular Joes. And I had penciled Lena Dunham in as one of the regular Joes. That's why this is hilarious. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, you're missing out because she's got the star power to make this a blockbuster hit. No doubt.
And much more relatable. I mean, she's, much more in every woman, I feel like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other cast members?
Oh, yeah.
Do. I was just. You want to take the next one, Jack?
Yeah, for the next one, we know he's a much more serious actor, much more for a stone-faced role. But we chose Adam Driver as Zach Carey. We figured it would give him a little bit more of a something that he's not usually known as being so glitzy and glamourful. But this would help break him out of his shell, and
It's a girls' reunion almost.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Plus, I think he could rock that cool '90s hair.
Yeah.
With that, that hair over his face that I can't do anymore. Hair left, but. And then for Crystal Connors, this was another hard one because this is Nomi's nemesis. And it's got to be, again, somebody with name recognition, star power, known for performing. And, finally, we just why don't we just get the most famous pair of breasts that exist on Earth? And that's Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is the superb Crystal Connors, and she and Lena Dunham will skyrocket this.
She's an American.
Dolly Parton, or just Dolly Parton now?
Dolly Parton now. Oh yeah,
Dolly Parton now, but our CG budget is flexible. We can de-age, we can enhance, we can do anything we want.
She is America's sweetheart. She's an American treasure. Fantastic actress. 9 to 5. She can, and this will kind of really change her role as a villain. I feel like. For Molly Abrams, we have Zoe Kravitz from Big Little Lies, or Ileana Glazer from Broad City. One of those two would both work.
Yeah, whichever's cheaper.
Whoever works cheaper, right?
Pick
You have to pick one.
I say Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz. All right.
For James Smith, our dance gigolo, Donald Glover, of course. He's a great performer. He might touch period blood. We don't know yet. But, that's the way it's going to go. We might have to get a stunt double for that part.
For Al Torres, we have James Edward Olmos. Usually very stern and selective, but we're feeling like this is going to broaden his role as a creep.
I missed that joke. And then Tony Moss. Tony Moss, he didn't have a lot of time to shine. He was the producer of the show for, the audience. He had a famous line that I really liked, that he goes up to Nomi and he goes, "I'm erect. Why aren't you erect?" And at first I wanted kind of a controversial choice to like really juice this up even more, and I wanted kind of Matt Lauer. Jack kind of talked me down from that, and we decided on Willem Dafoe. Like Willem Dafoe, he could just deliver that line, and I think that's a line people would repeat like constantly after the movie. Like, I'm erect. Why aren't
the catchphrase of the film?
Yeah, like you go into a restaurant and people just throw that around casually, like they're joking, So.
And for you want to do the last one, our Uber driver?
And then the Uber driver, he's not a big part, but he's like the bookends, the beginning and the end. We wanted to Saved by the Bell kind of cameo. We needed some kind of reference, and Dustin Diamond's the kind of guy that you'd like to kind of see stabbed. So.
And he's probably an Uber driver right now.
Yeah, I mean, again,
we got a deal.
And he's in prison.
What?
He's in jail.
Well, that's all right. We'll get a
He'll be an Uber driver in 3 to 5 with good behavior.
Okay.
All right. Is that everybody?
That's it.
Okay. This is a cast right here. I want to tell you right now. That is a cast right there. I'm loving this.
Yeah, I there's no words.
I really did not know he's in jail.
I thought he was out. I don't keep up.
Yeah, I mean, right? Yeah.
I'm surprised his mugshot looks that good. Honestly,
maybe we should work out a deal with the Justice Department, to get him out just for filming.
Oh no, Jim Blaylock! No, we need you. What are you doing? We'll talk, Jim. We'll talk.
Yeah, Jim's our hookup, man. He's got all kind of ends at the theater. We were talking to him about the Atlas Theater and others. I mean, Jim, we need you.
He was our first fan over here on Redline Radio LLC. John and Dan, let's hear your guys' cast.
Okay, our cast. We are going to bring it back to the original. Nomi Malone is going to be played by Elizabeth Berkley. Crystal Connors is going to be played by Gina Gershon, and Kyle MacLachlan will reprise.
Just one guy writing with one pen over here, John.
John, your guys is it a sequel?
It's kind of a sequel. Yes, it is. And Kyle MacLachlan returns as Zach Carey.
Okay, Kyle MacLachlan's been doing pretty good.
After Nomi, who was next? Sorry.
Crystal Connors will be played by Gina Gershon.
Okay, that's not bad.
Because we're going through like the new and the old mixed together in this tale.
Okay.
All right.
Let's keep it going. Who else we got?
Well, as we mentioned, Crystal Connors does have an assistant, Adrienne Barbeau, and that individual will be played by Christopher Walken.
Nice. Christopher Walken. He's got a movie coming up with Robert De Niro. It's like the Deer Hunter reunion that nobody wanted because it's like really comedy. I like Christopher Walken and all the comedies and stuff that he does. Continue, John.
Sergeant Dick LaForge will be played by Willem Dafoe.
Oh, double and
he called it first. He can't be.
For the entertainment director of the Magmasaurus Casino, we thought if you need somebody that's inept, if you need somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, there's only one actor for that can pull that off and pull it off convincingly, and that's Patton Oswalt.
I like Patton Oswalt.
Yeah. Now, we have lots of dancers, but we're only going to really cast for the 3 that are going to die. Okay. So playing the role of Jeremy, a.k.a. Dead Dancer number 1, we're going to cast Taylor Lautner.
He can get it. He's available.
He's available. and he's a handsome fellow, and that would, bring in some of the demographic that we want.
All right.
For playing the role of Portia, a.k.a. Dead Dancer number 2, a young lady that knows her way around murder, mayhem, and other horror, Asia Argento.
Huh. I thought you were going to say Angela Lansbury.
No.
You said I'm old.
And our third dancer playing the role of Susie, aka Dead Dancer number 3, and she would be our typical like stripper young lady that's trying out for the cast, adult film star Gianna Michaels. She died very well in Piranha 3D, and you know, we kind of need that sex appeal. It was an easy cast. And lastly, our last character, a totally new character, is the character of Teddy Goto. And Teddy Goto will be played by Jackie Chan. Now, you may say, what the hell has Teddy Goto got to do? Well, Teddy Goto is an antagonist of sorts. He is the entertainment director in the casino across the street from the Magma Source, who randomly throughout the movie will show up to bust Patton Oswalt's balls about how he can't do anything right and he can't do anything good, or et cetera, et cetera. But, as I mentioned in our pitch, there's a little bit of kung fu magic. That's because Teddy Goto is the one that helps Nomi defeat Zach Carey and reveal him as the murderer right before Dick LaForge puts 2 in his gut.
Is there anything else?
No, there's not.
I have no words.
Oh my god! No, I mean, like these two casts. There's a lot going on both of these. I'm so happy to be the judge on this one. I really am.
All right, so to anybody that is watching and listening to us right now, this is going to be the part where I've seen some of the materials that you guys are about to hear and listen, and you might want to make sure there's no I mean, if there's somehow children made it into the room during this, you need to definitely push them out.
And hopefully they haven't been listening for the last 45 minutes. If so, I'm questioning some parenting skills. I'm just gonna say it.
All right, so John and Dan, we have marketing. Let's hear it, guys.
Dan.
All right. We got a ton of marketing here. First of all, since it's the Zucker Brothers and Abrams' newest film in freaking forever, we're going to push the hell out of that. Because this is a writing team that rocks, and you need to do that. Secondly, it's going to come out as an R rating, right? But we're going to re-release in theaters if it does well with a director's cut with more sexy and naked Jackie Chan. That's what everybody wants.
Nice.
Thank God they didn't send me a picture of that.
I tried, John. I tried.
You're making the film and the director's cut, but you're not going to release the director's cut?
That's how we do it nowadays.
We're gonna release the director's cut after. It's like the Deadpool Christmas shit with.
Okay, I was just trying to keep it straight. All right.
Yeah, be like Merry Christmas. Here's naked Jackie Chan. You know.
Everybody wants another tree.
Exactly. I mean, why not? We're gonna keep the same soundtrack as the original movie. You know, the Bowie, the Prince, My Life, the Thrill Kill Cult, Sisters of Mercy. But
we're not on soundtrack yet.
Oh, okay. But it's promotional.
Well, you know what? Okay, because there might be a tie. I'll concede that.
Okay. All right.
Okay, we'll hold that.
Okay. Now, next, this is just the beginning of a whole Showgirls franchise. Now, we're adult cartoon out of this. It's going to run on HBO. It's going to be like Heavy Metal with Showgirls. With that, we're going to have a whole action figure and toy line. It's going to be awesome. Like the Magmasaurus, which sits out front of the casino. That's going to be their Quinjet, and it's going to like ride around on that and beat the shit out of aliens. It's going to be great.
Showgirls in space. What more do you need?
And lastly, we are doing a promotion with Taco Bell, and it will be the greatest promotion ever.
Taco Bell presents its newest entree, as seen in the hit movie Showgirls. Nomi gobbled them up on screen, and now you can get your hands on Nomi's Beefy Fish Taco. Engulf all the voluptuous flavors in your mouth. Available in plain and smothered with our patented crispy sauce. So go to Taco Bell and get Naomi's Beefy Fish Taco. Available at all locations. Only after midnight.
Beefy Fish Taco.
I don't know if I'm hungry or horny. I can't tell after that ad.
I don't think I'm going to recover. I don't know if I.
That commercial made me never want to go to Taco Bell.
I'm gonna go get.
It's the new American Pie. I mean, come on.
And is it a beefy fish taco? I missed that part. Is it?
Yeah.
So it's beef and fish together in a taco.
Fish together, yeah, in a
classic combo. Yeah,
exactly, man. I mean, they're the innovators of doing that type of stuff.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm going to be strictly hot dogs from now on.
Steve and Jack, what's your guys' marketing pitch?
So our marketing pitch is the first thing is Showgirls really made a splash in becoming the first NC-17 movie out. So we wanted to up the envelope on that one. Our movie's actually going to be NC-35. So you have to be over the age of 35, and you will have to present a marriage license that says that you've been married for at least 4 years. See, our target audience is really going to be people who have been, they're well into their marriage. Things are going south in the bedroom, and this is kind of like their weak, belittling attempt to rekindle that passion.
You're taking the 50 Shades track.
That's exactly right. Yes, that's exactly right. Yep. Number 2 on the list, we thought is Smell-O-Vision. So they used to have cards that they would present to patrons when they could go in there, and so like during certain parts of the film, you could scratch a line and then smell it.
Scratch and sniff.
Yeah. Exactly. So some of our smells are going to be stale cigarette smoke and cheap perfume, and sweat. Just actually, a lot of them I think will be sweat. And
one second. Sorry, let me go get this down.
Of course, you've all seen a breast, but have you smelled a breast? I feel like that's going to be.
That's our tagline for.
That's our tagline. And Steve has one more marketing idea.
All right.
Actually, we're springing.
I got a poster too.
We're springing this.
Oh man.
If that doesn't make you want to see our movie, I don't know what will, but this will enhance it a little bit. Our last idea is a Showgirls app. And this app will give anybody breasts. And this will be, completely customizable. You can do like droopy ones and firm ones, ones with big areolas or hairy areolas, whatever you want. And, it's going to be a great hit with, kids and whoever. And that's going to really increase the interest for this movie. I can see, people will have to get marriage licenses at this point to see it.
Hey, now 50% of marriages end in divorce. Do us divorced people get a discount?
If I'm the money on this one, I say divorced people can't get in. You gotta go.
No, I'll let them in, but you got to pay double. You got to pay.
Okay,
that's brilliant. Yes, I agree with Steve on that 100%.
All right, divorced people. I'm putting that in the marketing also.
Divorced people like team up and pretend they're married to each other.
No, but
if they can fake a wedding certificate, yes, they can.
Okay, that's not hard.
Yeah,
this is going to increase Canadian American marriages.
All right, I'm good.
All right, so let's get ready for this tiebreaker real quick. Steve and Jack, tell us about your soundtrack.
So we already have 2 songs listed.
We got
Hungry Like the Wolf.
And I Am the Warrior.
Right.
I don't know how many more you need than that, because those can pretty much, are pretty awesome.
I think I want to throw Eye of the Tiger in there somewhere. I don't know where yet, but that's going to be, I feel like
85 and 80s to 90s vibe.
Right.
Yeah, good music.
Okay.
I've always felt like sex movies should have the 2001 theme and Eye of a Tiger in them. John and Dan, what's your music?
Well, we are going to just keep the same soundtrack because it was killer. You got Bowie, you got Prince, My Life with a Thrill Kill Cult, Sisters of Mercy. However, though, on the album, we'll have the original version of I'm Afraid of Americans by David Bowie, but we will also have a new version done by, of course, Evanescence.
Evanescence. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Are they still making music?
Okay. What's the name of the song again?
I'm Afraid of Americans.
Is Dolly Parton doing like a song back to Stephen Jack real quick in the vein of like Will Smith? Here come the Showgirls.
I love that idea. I think we're just going to take that. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, thanks for the bailout.
Jim Baylock says Jungle Love.
That's a good one, Jim. I like that one.
Yeah, Morse Day and the Time.
All right, so you're gonna have an original Dolly Parton movie song.
Mm-hmm. And perhaps she could just redo 9 to 5, except it's something like working 12 to 9, or it's something like that till 9 in the morning. Something something for the striptease audience.
Sundown to sunup.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. We'll let Max go deliberate while we all just chat about whatever.
Random things.
These pitches were not bad. And if you guys are watching this and you would like to partake in Remake Revolution, email us at 3geekspodcast@gmail.com and let us know. We can get a buddy.
I didn't bring enough beer for this.
And I know we're going to be reaching out to a lot of the other podcasts on Redline Radio LLC to partake in this. And maybe we'll turn this into a live thing because I don't know, but I've enjoyed doing this live like this. John, what do you think?
It's been a blast. I've looked forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even though I had to rewatch this movie, which, God damn it. I texted Dan in the middle of this. I'm like, dude, why am I doing this? This is terrible.
I feel like I don't know because I just did it all from memory, so it's fine.
John calls me and goes, so I watched Showgirls, and then I told Dan, like, have you watched Showgirls yet? And he's like, Dan just tells me he watched the trailer twice and it's good. He's like,
I'm like, fuck no, I didn't watch it.
John is the most, and this is a good quality to have, like overthinker that I know. So I'm surprised that he didn't overthink that.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was a murder to lay on that couch, and I'm like, oh my God, like at one point I literally yelled at the TV because Naomi has all those freakouts for no reason. I'm like, why are you mad? Stop it!
Half of the movie is her just throwing something down and then walking out of a room and slamming a door. That is 80% of the movie.
Violent outbursts that I knew we needed to capture that in our pitch somehow.
Right.
And like Lena Dunham, that's a good one to capture that unwarranted rage.
I like I said, Dan and I had a blast kind of going back and forth with these different ideas, and I guess I'm somewhat proud or maybe ashamed of myself for that radio commercial. I'm not sure.
That was good. I wish I had the ability to do stuff like that.
I like the Showgirls poster. That was something.
It was something, all right. Yeah.
I sent it to John because the original picture I got was a little bit over the line, I think, for internet radio. So John creatively added construction worker to the photo. Jim says he likes the live aspect of us doing this. So Jim, maybe we'll talk to Dave about doing this. The problem is it's something that's hard to do weekly. So we'd have to do it like Twice a month would be probably the best. Give everybody adequate time to prepare, but we're down. And Jim, if you got a partner and you want to compete in Remake Revolution, shoot me an email.
You know, would this be a good time for Steve and Jack to one more time kind of plug some of the stuff you guys got going on?
Absolutely. Please do.
All right, go ahead.
Go for it, Jack.
So I recently released a graphic novel called Frankenstein for Mayor. It is basically Frankenstein is running for mayor of Transylvania against Dracula, who's the current mayor. The town is divided in between werewolves, witches, and vampires, and so he has to kind of get everybody on the same political track and save the town from their corrupt mayor. It's available on Comixology. Feel free to Google it. It's available there. Me and Steve, like I said, are getting ready to push issue 5 of the Scribbler, which we're pretty excited about. That's something we've been working on for, I would say, about close to 2 years now. So we're on issue 5. Yeah. Steve, do you got anything coming up? Anything you want to mention?
I've been kind of holding off on getting too much stuff printed this year because of COVID, and we don't really have like shows to go to. But mulletturtle.com is my website for like humorous comics and zines I make. I'm kind of low on stock right now just because, again, the COVID year, kind of shut everything down for me, and I was laid off for a couple months. So, but yeah, you can check it out. There's samples on there. You can check out some of the other stuff I do in print. And I definitely have some ideas for RoboCop if you guys ever do RoboCop.
I am so down for that.
Hey, that already got remade like very recently. But
I ignore that one. That doesn't count.
Like,
Steve, didn't you do a comic on RoboCop?
I did a parody. I called it Authority Bot, and it's like the owner's manual if you bought a RoboCop. So like if you're a police station and you buy a RoboCop, this is like the owner's manual for how to work it and stuff.
Nice.
But during this, I had more ideas for a RoboCop remake than Showgirls for a while.
All right, so real quick, coming up on Monday, we have our interview with Scott Schwartz, fun guy. We got to talk to him about his work on The Toy and A Christmas Story. The following week, we will be chatting with Bruce Valanche about the Star Wars Holiday Special, that timeless gem that we all love so much that gave B. Arthur a 45-minute solo. Check out that interview. And then the following week, Larry Hanken, one of the best interviewees I've ever had the opportunity to talk to. The guy was funny. He just so many stories, and he wasn't afraid to tell it like it was. He told some stories about how he used to be a dick back in the day, and he acknowledges it and he owns it. It was a lot of fun to listen to Larry. So all that stuff is coming down the pike from 3 Geeks Podcast and the PVDcast. Max, do we have some judging? Let's start.
This is rough, guys. This is really hard. Both pitches were amazing. I was blown away by like the detail you guys went into to tell this whole story. I mean, that's like, and everyone did more than Team Slut Lizard. I gotta say, for your first fucking remake, this is. I'm so impressed with you guys. Before anything gets said and done, you came out here. You gave a one hell of a pitch, and it's really good. I'm just happy to see you guys like really got into it, and I had a blast. Before anything gets said and done, all of the stuff was great. I had a blast the whole time. So please, none of you competitors feel bad at the end of this. You're all winners. Like, this is very, very hard for me to judge. All right, so starting with the pitch, we've got Team Slut Lizard's pitch is pretty much the same storyline of the original movie, except we're throwing in some K-pop bands. We've got some slut food going on there. They're blasting "I Am the Warrior." There's a dog food montage scene. They're gonna play "Hungry Like the Wolf" during the dog food montage scene, and I'm erect. That's what I've got written down.
We could have just said those, and then we could have saved a lot of time.
So yeah, that's great. That's a wild ride. And then Team Heavy Metal Masters, they've got the it's going to be more in recent time, maybe a couple years in the future. The Magmasaurus Casino is failing, and they get Nomi to bring them back to life. And then it turns out this whole thing is a murder mystery. That's pretty much your pitch, watered down to the basic, right? That's but to throw in some awesomeness, you've got Jackie Chan and kung fu fights. Let's see here. Murder mysteries and all kinds of fun. And this is going to be more of a sequel to Showgirls. And I guess there was already a sequel, so this could be like Showgirls 3.
Popular nowadays, they're going to ignore the sequel. And
so they're going to the original plot, the original timeline sequel.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, between those, I had to take Team Heavy Metal Masters only because Team Slut Lizard, your movie is going to be 4 hours long. To get all of that and do that well without pulling a full-on Chris Nolan plus a Tarantino. That's just not doable. I love your pitch. I really do. It's just I don't think they can make that movie. And if that means you guys, it was awesome. It was epic, and I don't want you to feel down about it because it was very close. But when it came down to it, I was like, what movie could be made?
Oh, fair.
You just can't do that. But no, it was an epic pitch. I really loved it. So the pitch goes to Team Heavy Metal Masters.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You guys had a great pitch, man.
Good work. For the cast, we've got Team Slut Lizard. They've got Nomi cast as Lena Dunham. Zach is cast as Adam Driver. We've got Dolly Parton playing the Crystal Connors. Molly Abrams by Zoe Kravitz. Donald Glover in there. They've got Admiral Adama and Willem Dafoe with a weird Saved by the Bell tie-in to kind of bring back the weird Saved by the Bell tie-in of the last one. Diamond. So they're going to get him a work furlough program to get him out of jail.
Yeah, we'll work it out with his agent.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. That's an all-star cast versus Team Heavy Metal Masters. They're bringing back a bunch of people to reprise their roles. So you've got Elizabeth Berkley, Gina Gershon. We're going to have Christopher Walken, which is amazing. And again, Willem Dafoe. So Willem Dafoe kind of cancels out on this one because you both different roles, which is interesting. So no one gets any props or disses for that because you both got them. The casino director is going to be played by Patton Oswalt. The three dead dancers are going to be Jeremy, played by the Twilight Wolf, Portia, played by Asia Argento, and Susie, with you're going to bring in an actual porn star to kind of do the
former
make a porno deal. Gianna Michaels, who is Teddy Goto. Am I saying that right? Teddy Goto.
Yes.
Teddy
is going to be played by the one and the only Jackie Chan.
What is that?
I don't know.
It's Dead Dancers.
I was a thinker.
I'm gonna go with Team Slut Lizard's cast on this one.
Yeah.
The freaking what's that show that they were on together?
Girls.
The girls reunion has some merit.
It has built-in marketing to it as well.
I kind of don't want any actual kung fu people to. I feel like you're gonna lose something if it gets too technical. So I'm gonna go with the Team Slut Lizards cast. They will have to cast some different people because I went with the other guy's pitch. So you're gonna have to flush out. It's that's an all-star cast, and I love Donald Glover. I know Jim was kind of hating on him a little bit, but I'm a Donald Glover fan, so I'm going with that cast. So that's The pitch goes to Heavy Metal Masters. Cast goes to Team Slut Lizard. For the marketing,
we do director already.
Well, I'm doing it in my way.
Okay, fair.
He's the judge.
For the marketing, I went with, Team Slut Lizard had the NC-35, the first ever NC-35 for legally married couples for over. You have to prove all of this to buy your ticket.
That's ism. Marriedism. Is that a thing? Marriedism.
So they're breaking records. They're breaking new ground with that. They're gonna reintroduce Smell-O-Vision. So
yes.
I guess that's something like borrowed and something used or something like that. They're gonna bring back the Smell-O-Vision. They're gonna have these awesome scents like stale cigarettes, cheap perfume, and boob sweat.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And they're going to release an app that gives you a photo filter that gives you tits. And you can have all different. You can have nasty, hairy tits, or big floppy tits, or whatever. There's gonna be all kinds. All the tits will be represented in all the colors and all the sizes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's you guys' pitch. That's a bunch of good stuff. And so Team Heavy Metal Masters is going to push their creative writing team that I scrapped. Oh no, I haven't done that yet. They're going to push the creative writing team, and because they've got who was it here?
The Zucker brothers and Abrams.
Zucker brothers and Jim Abrams. So that's a bunch of stuff there. They're gonna roll two movies basically. They're gonna have the original, the theater cut, and then the director's cut with which will have a naked Jackie Chan.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be what brings people back around after they've already paid the money the first time. So it's a way to double dip the chip and get away with it. And then they're going to start off the Showgirls franchise. They're going to have such things as an adult cartoon, maybe on HBO. And they're going to have a toy line with you can get the was it Magnosaurus Casino? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
You're gonna be able to get the Magnosaurus Casino play sets and all that fun stuff. And they're also gonna run can we run that promo one more time?
Taco Bell presents its newest entree as seen in the hit movie Showgirls. Nomi gobbled them up on screen, and now you can get your hands on Nomi's beefy fish taco. Engulf all the voluptuous flavors in your mouth. Available in plain, smothered with our patented mystery sauce. So go to Taco Bell and get Naomi's beefy fish taco. Available at all locations, only after midnight.
All right, so they're gonna have a promo, and they're gonna create the beefy fish taco, Nomi's beefy fish taco.
Available only after midnight, though. By the way, you know.
For the marketing, I went with Team Slut Lizard because I like the idea that I could not go watch the movie.
We'll send you a Blu-ray. We'll send you
if it's anything like the original, I don't want to. So I can't go. It's a shame. I wish I could, but I can't. That's one of the reasons that they got in. To bring back Smell-O-Vision is bold.
We're men of very bold ideas.
I don't think that would be like work in an actual pitch office. Like somebody's not going to say you win because I like your pitch the best because that means I can't see it.
Can't go. But also that in the same way that Deadpool revealed the rated R comic book market, I feel like you guys are going to reveal this like 50 Shades adults getting married adults who are bored with each other market, and there's a real way to they get to feel better than everyone else because they're the only ones who can go see it. So
and the elitism of being able to be like, have you seen it? No. Oh well, I saw it a couple times. We went to the what?
Me and Cindy went and saw it 3 times already. So yeah, I'm definitely down for that. And I think the app could. I mean, like, who doesn't want tits, right? Like, I would love a glorious pair of tits that I could just like have right here. So yeah, that's great. So I'm gonna go with that marketing. So yeah, right now we've got the pitch from Team Heavy Metal Masters, the Slut Lizards cast, and the Slut Lizards marketing. Moving to director, we've got the Zucker brothers and Abrams writing, with John Woo directing. And say that dude's name, Dan.
John Woo and Yin Woo Ping.
Yin Woo Ping is going to be your stunt and dance coordinator.
Yes.
And that's who your guys are going with. Team Slut Lizard is going with Baz Luhrmann, who's handled projects like this before. He's good with the big budget dancing song and dance film. So that's a solid choice there. I went with Team Heavy Metal Masters for director. That's I want to see that. Yeah, I want to see the John Woo. I want the doves, and at some point in time, Nomi's gonna have 2 pistols, and she's gonna be like jumping side, and it's gonna be awesome. So that's a wrap. I mean, we're talking gold here. So that brings us to a tie. Everyone's got 2 points, so it's down to the soundtrack. We've got the Slut Lizards is gonna have an 80s to early 90s style soundtrack with an original song by Dolly Parton, maybe a riff on the 9 to 5, but working until 9 in the morning. And the Heavy Metal Masters are rolling with all original soundtrack, just flipping it back over. Except they're gonna add a Evanescence cover of "I'm Afraid of Americans" with a Bowie, the original Bowie "I'm Afraid of Americans" on their soundtrack. And you guys, again, like this. Thank you all for this. I really didn't think this is going to be as crazy and fun as it has been. So I mean, if you're on the ride, I got to tell you, it was a good one.
Yeah, John's been begging to do this movie for like years.
Yeah, it's
no, not years, but it's been a little bit. Every time we discuss remake topics, I'm like, Showgirls. Showgirls.
Give me a reason to watch Showgirls again.
And then I hate myself for doing it. So clearly I'm a sadist. Clearly.
All right. And the winners are Team Slut Lizard. I admire for the original Dolly song. I want to see that. I want to see her in the movie. That's gonna be a lot of fun, I think. And I had to give it to you guys. And I mean, I wanted to give it to you simply on the length of your pitch. Like, earned it for me. Like I was wowed by that. But no, it's great stuff. And I had a blast. This is really good.
Now, John,
well done, gentlemen.
$100 each if we win, right? Like, get the prize money. We were told there's prize money, right?
No, we only give out prize money on February 31st.
I mean, we're going to write down your names so that we can get you guys on here again sometime, because that pitch was fantastic. Dan and John, your pitch was great too.
Thank you.
From myself, Max, John, Dan, Steve, and Jack, everybody have a great day.
Recycle your droids.
See you guys.
Yeah. You guys, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. That was a lot of fun.
The credits, it's fine. We don't have music yet.
I mean, we always talk over. Oh crap! I forgot something.
All right. I got like a fucking racehorse.